and what he went through. He had to eat bitter herbs. That's like a bitter melon. You can type in, it's like a melon that we have that's bitter. And horseradish is not bitter herbs. Horseradish is just hot. Bitter herbs is like a melon, a small melon that we made. That's why when you look at what Mashayach did at the Last Supper, he revealed who will betray him, and that was Judas. Go to Matthew 26. And I'm looking at this bitter herb also because you can't dip no bread in no horseradish. Listen. Well, you just cut it up in pieces. Listen. Verse 21, Matthew 26 and 21. Let's start at 20. Now, when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. Even, right? Because we do the Passover in the evening, not in the daytime, but in the evening. He sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Mashayach, Master, is it I? Is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. He that dippeth his hand in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. You said it. You know it was you. But he said, verse 23, and he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. Look at Luke 21. Go to Luke 21. Luke 22. Right, Luke 22. Luke 22. Because generally you go through Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and sometimes John, we have the same story. Look at Luke 22, we'll start at verse 19. And he took bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave it and gave unto them, saying, This is my body which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. So this bread, nothing else but unleavened bread, as we supposed to eat at the Passover. He took bread and gave thanks. He thanked the Most High for it. I'll show Mashayach as we would, and break it, and gave unto them, saying, This is my body, which is given for you. And we already read in Acts 5:31, for the remission of sins of Israel. This do in remembrance of me. So this is supposed to be done in remembrance of a Mashayach. It's very important. Likewise, also the cup after supper, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. Listen. But behold, the hand of him that betrayeth me is with me on the table. And truly the Son of Man goeth, as it was determined, but woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed. And they began to inquire among themselves, which of them it was that should do this thing. And there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. You know, he get ready to die. He ready to be put to death for the sins of Israel. And they want to know, they tripping on which one of them going to be the greatest. Our people are something else, aren't they? You think about it, it's our people. Go to St. John 13:1. St. John 13:1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when the Mashayach knew that his hour was come. See? Before the feast of the Passover, when he knew that his hour was come, it was around this time that he was put to death, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own. Who was his own? Hebrews 7:14 says, for it is evident that our power sprang out of Judah. Judah is the fourth-born son of our forefather Jacob. Now before the feast of the Passover, when the Mashayach knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own who are the 12 tribes of Israel, which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Mashayach, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from the Most High and went to the Most High, he rises from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. And after that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Master, dost thou wash my feet? Mashayach answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. You don't know what I'm doing, you don't know hereafter. Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Mashayach answered him, if I wash thee not, thou shalt have no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Master, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Mashayach said unto him, he that is washed needeth not say to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all. So you clean, but not all of you. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, ye are not all clean. Judas Iscariot is going to betray him. Traitor. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was set down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Adawan, and ye say well, for so I am. If I then, your power and master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say to you, the servant is not greater than his power, his master, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. See, I'm not greater than the Most High. He said on Mashayach, if you know these things, happy are ye if you do them. See? verse 21. When the Mashayach had thus said, he was troubled in spirit, and testified and said, Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake. Say to we've been going over. Now there was leaning on the Mashayach's bosom one of the disciples whom the Mashayach loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He asked him, hey man, see if you can find out who he's talking about. Which one of us? Now there was leaning on the Mashayach's bosom one of his disciples whom Mashayach loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then, lying on the Mashayach's breast, said unto him, Master, who is it? Mashayach answered, Listen, he it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. I took that bread and put it in a bitter herb, which is a liquid form. That melon, that bitter melon. You can just look at bitter melon. That's that herb. They took that bread and put it in there. It's called a sop. And when he had dipped the sop, see, he dipped the bread into the bitter herb. He gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him, into Judas Iscariot. Then said, Mashayach said to him, That thou doest, do quickly. And no man at the table knew for what intent he spake this unto him. For some of them thought because Judas had the bag, that Mashayach had said unto him, Buy those things that we have need of against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. He then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night.